What's up, folks? So today I'm going to be bringing you an ORAS NU Wi-Fi battle, and this is against Stardasherr, as he has a Twitter, so make sure you go follow him there. And he is a good friend of mine, as this was off of my stream that I did this weekend, which had no audio because my computer was being retarded. And anyways, NU battle, I'm bringing a really fun team. It's totally PU, and it's really not great, but it's fun, so who cares? It's Delibird, Floatzel, Raticate, Poliwrath, Piloswine, and Haunter, and he's bringing an NU team with a couple PUs, Luxray, Liepard, Drifblim, Jinx, Tauros, and Samurott. So this is a pretty fast-paced game, as I'm bringing a hyper-offensive team, and his team is not very bulky as it stands. He has like no walls. So yeah, let's get into it. As I'm going to be leading off with Delibird, as it is my Suicide Spike leader, as he's going to lead off with Aquarai the Samurott, as I'm gonna just try and set my spikes up right away. And we got some S alliteration in there, as I put up those spikes, and I don't really care what he does. I didn't think he'd be SD, and even if he did set up an SD, I could hit it with a freeze dry. So he's gonna go for the surf and knock me down to my sash, as he's definitely not max speed since I outsped him, even though Samurott has a higher base speed. So he's going to switch out into Luxray. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do have this Destiny Bond. He might have been predicting that, as since I did go for the Destiny Bond and he generally runs Scarf Luxray, he can't just go for the Volt Switch and kill me because he'd be sacrificing that Luxray. So I knew he couldn't stay in, and even if he did, it wouldn't matter. So I just go for the Freeze Dry, as nothing on his team really appreciated this. So I go for that Freeze Dry, and it's a solid 2-hit KO on this Drifblim, which could have been problematic to my team, though I do have that Piloswine in the back, which can spam Ice Shards on it, but I'm not sure. But he dies, and that's really good, as now he's going to bring in that Tauros, and Tauros is very spooky because it outruns a lot of things, as he's just going to go for the return. Not sure why it doesn't have Rock Climb. I think he just hasn't gen himself a Rock Climb one. But anyways, he's going to show his Life Orb, Sheer Force, as I do have Floatzel Washington, which is choice banded, and it can outrun this thing, and he has no switch-ins for this that are decent, as he is going to go into Jinx, and it's going to take the spike, breaking a potential sash, which wouldn't matter because I can't OHKO it with a low kick, as I'm going to go for that banded low kick, and it does a lot, as he shows that he is choice Scarfed Jinx, and as he goes for the Side Shock, it doesn't kill me, but it does a lot, and I'm going to be able to knock him out with a low kick. So down goes Jinx, which is nice for stuff, I guess. I could have beaten it. It wasn't a huge threat, as he's going to go into Luxray, and I know this thing's choice Scarfed because he's ran it for me before, and so I'm going to go ahead and switch into Tuscular Jr. to try and block that electric move, but he goes for the superpower, which was a nice play on his part. But since he does get the attack drop, he will not be able to kill me with the next superpower, and I will be able to set my Stealth Rocks up, which will just put a lot more pressure on his team, as he is going to go into his Samurott. Now, Piloswine's still really useful because that priority Ice Shard in the back can be very, very handy, and it's still at a decent spot of health, as also I didn't want Luxray to just go ham Volt Switching through my whole team, so I definitely wanted a way to stop that, as I'm going to go into Poliwrath, as predicting the water move, but he does predict that right and goes for the Grass Knot, as I do have Water Absorb. So Grass Knot utterly destroys me, leaving me at basically no health, as I am Specs and go for the Vacuum Wave. I could have gone for the Focus Blast or Hidden Power Electric, but I didn't know if he was going to be fast or not. So I'm just going to sack Poliwrath, as that's fine because it wasn't doing very much. I guess I could have used it to beat his Liepard, but it's okay because that does warrant me the free switch in Eradicate, and this is not your old gut set. This is not Hayden's Joint. This is my Hustle Life Orb set, which hits slightly harder than well, it doesn't hit harder, but it's cool, as I'm gonna go for the Hustle Double Edge. It's gonna destroy this thing. It doesn't hit as hard as Guts Facade, but I don't take that damage turn for turn, and I will get strong hits with all my moves. So I know, use Guts, kids, but I'm just trying to be fun. So he's going to go ahead and switch into Tauros, as I think Sucker Punch is a roll here, as I do go for it, and I do land, and it's not going to kill him, which is unfortunate, as he's going to be able to knock me out with the Zen Headbutt, as there's no way I'm living because Raticate is super duper frail, and had he gone for the return he would have died to Life Orb recoil, so that was a good play on his part. As now I can go into my Piloswine and threaten this thing out with an Ice Shard, and he honestly had no reason to switch out because Tauros does die on entry hazards. So he could have gotten himself a free switch into Samurott without risking me going for an Earthquake and knocking this thing out, because I have nothing to take a hit from this Spec Samurott, as I do just go for the Ice Shard because I didn't think he had any reason at all to switch, as he was going to knock me out with the Surf. Had I gone for the EQ, I would have just screwed up his day, as all he'd have left is Liepard to take the rest of my team on. So, anyways, I'm going to go into my Haunter, which can definitely outspeed this thing, and I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave, and that's going to knock him out. And all he has left now is Liepard and a Tauros that dies on entry. So Liepard is the 50-50 monster of NU, along with Poniard, as Sucker Punch and Pursuit and Encore and stuff. It makes for a lot of 50-50s. As I know he can outspeed me and just go for the knockoff, so there's no point trying to outrun like a Sucker Punch and going into this Floatzel, sacking my win condition. That would have been really ridiculous, so I'm just going to let my Haunter die, which is totally fine because all I need is Floatzel, and this is a crucial part of the game, as if I go for the Aqua Jet, it's not going to kill, but if he does go for that Sucker Punch, it will fail since I go first. But anyways, I'm going to go for the Waterfall, predicting him to predict me to Aqua Jet, so therefore he'd go for a knockoff. So I get that 50-50 right, as he doesn't Sucker Punch, and I knock him out with the Waterfall, and Tauros dies on entry, and even if he didn't have entry, I would have outsped and knocked him out with a banded Waterfall from the spot he standed at. So that's the game, and it was a really good game, and I love games that come down to a 50-50 like that, as it just makes it really exciting, and it's really fun to get it right. So, good game, Star. That was a lot of fun, and we have a lot of good battles. We're pretty even on wins and losses. So yeah, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave some love on this video if you did, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out. And yeah, so hope you all enjoyed this. Have a good day, everyone. Until next time, peace.